sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
And Rosario has to retreat. It is a fair ball kick. And the ball coming through right on the buck. That might be the best throw you'll see a left fielder make this year. That was outstanding. That ball gets by Plouffe and down the line. See if they run on Rosario. He's going to try. Wide. And a little bit of a grin on Rosario's face. Holding up two fingers. I got two tonight.
The rookie Eddie Rosario warming up. What's he going to do for an encore? 2 assists last night. He now leads the Twins in outfield assists. He's just 23 years old. He is finding his way tonight. It'll be Josh Tomlin that he'll face. Tyler Duffy will go, a fellow youngster, 24-year-old, makes his second career start for the Minnesota Twins. They look for some revenge against the Cleveland Indians. Welcome inside Target Field. It is a perfect, sultry Saturday night. Big weekend for the Minnesota Twins. They try to win this series by winning the last 2 games before they head out on a long road trip. What a few days it's been for the rookie Eddie Rosario. In the last 3 days, 4 outfield assists. He started on Wednesday. Shin-Soo Choo testing the arm. Not a good decision. He was gunned down. Then it was Thursday. Trying to go to third. Delino DeShields. That's not going to work. He's dead. And then last night, a pair of them, left field line. Doesn't matter what field this guy plays, he always gets the job done. Down the line, Lonnie Chisenhall looked like he was home and cooled out. He was just out at the plate after a review. And the Indians weren't convinced. They did it one more time. And Eddie Rosario said, no, not today. 4 in the last 3 days. He now leads all in the major leagues. We asked his manager if this is going to make it an intimidating situation for the opposition.
I think he's probably thrown the ball better than I remember him. I knew he had a strong arm when I saw him in the system coming up, but I think he's got a lot more confidence. And, you know, he's just making plays. And, you know, you get big outs on the base paths, you know, it lifts your whole team up. You know, certainly your pitcher who's on the mound, but it gives everybody a lift.
Rosario and the Twins will be facing Josh Tomlin. They'll send out Tyler Duffy. Dick and Burt go inside the numbers and break up the matchup on the mound next.
Is presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Jeep. Find your summer of adventure with great deals at the Jeep Summer Clearance event.
The homestand started with a couple of wins. Now the Twins have suffered a couple of losses. 2 games left. Game 2 between the Twins and the Indians here tonight from Target Field. Tyler Duffy will make his second major league start, while Josh Tomlin, a veteran, will make his first start for the Indians in 2015. And we welcome you to Target Field on this Saturday night. Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven. Tyler Duffy in his major league debut had to deal with all the butterflies associated with your debut. He also had to pitch against the best lineup in the American League, the Toronto Blue Jays, hoping for a better outing here today.
Yeah, it all started, really, he forgot his passport, and his dad had to bring it to him. Maybe he thought, maybe they shouldn't have brought my passport to me, because in the 2 innings that he pitched, he gave up 5 hits. You could tell on the monitor that he was nervous. He was throwing that ball all over the place. He left some pitches up, like a Donaldson right there, a 2-run home run. And then in the second inning with bases loaded, Batista uncorks a grand slam, and that was the day for Duffy.
Everyone's hoping for and expecting a better outing tonight, including Tyler Duffy.
I'm excited. I've been here once. When I signed, I kind of just got to look at the field, walk around a little bit and watch the game, and then headed back to Florida. So it'll be nice to actually be out there and, being a part of the team and pitching in front of the crowd here. I'm excited.
And Tyler Duffy hoping that he will have a longer and much better start in his second big league start. Over the course of the season that now includes one more loss than win, the Twins have upgraded their outfield defense considerably. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. The Twins and the Orioles have 34 outfield assists. Rosario himself 2 last night, 10 on the year. Twins have a very good throwing outfield. when you consider the likes of Rosario and Hicks, Buxton when he's out there. Terry Francona managing his third team. And he's seen the Indians play much better baseball in the second half of the year than they have in the first half. The Menards batting order: Ramirez, Lindor, and Gomes, Santana, Urshela, Almonte, Perez, Chisenhall, and Aviles. Ramirez in the box.
And Tyler Duffy getting ahead in the count by throwing strike one. Duffy, 24 years old. He started this season in Double-A, Chattanooga. Made 8 starts, promoted to Rochester. And then here at the big league level.
Popped up near the Indians dugout. And back in the seats, 2 strikes. A rough outing, a rough assignment to make your major league debut at the Rogers Center against that scary Toronto lineup. But then he went back to Rochester and pitched a good ball game at that level, and that caused his recall here for tonight's game.
Yeah, back about 4 days ago, he pitched the first game of a doubleheader. 7 innings are the norm for doubleheaders, and he pitched 6 shutout innings. Only gave up 1 hit, no walks, 5 strikeouts, and that's what he did in the minor leagues. Very good earned run average in the minor leagues. 2.54, only 30 walks in 138 innings pitched. And I think what we saw in Toronto, Dick, was a lot of that right there. That last pitch, just trying to rush a little bit. And the big thing he needs to do is take a deep breath, try to get over that pitching rubber a little bit longer, hold it, and then go toward home plate like that.
Foul back, out of play, 2-2.
Especially on your breaking ball. If you're quick with your breaking ball, your left shoulder is going to fly open, the arm's going to drag, and you're not going to have that consistent sharpness that he does have when he's calm in the minor leagues with a good slider.
2-2 to Ramirez.
Easier said than done sometimes.
And there's a slider called. Yes. 3rd strike on the outside corner.
Better as far as getting over the pitching rubber and then following through. So Ramirez, who struck out 1 Blue Jay, gets his first strikeout here tonight against a Cleveland Indian. Right there, just high leg kick, then utilize that pitching rubber and explode toward home plate.
He dropped down sidearm just a little bit.
You can see he throws across his body just a bit.
Outside, ball 1 to Francisco Lindor.
And you can do that as long as you come over that landing foot, that left foot, which is exactly what he did.
Paraphrasing him, what he said was one of the major issues in his start against Toronto. He was trying to throw 100 miles per hour when he can only throw 90. And he said he learned from that. Don't overthrow, and if anything, get into some trouble. And he had plenty of it against that Blue Jay lineup. Take your foot off the gas instead of trying to put it, more on the accelerator.
Yeah, Eric Fryer was the catcher that caught him in Toronto. Now it's Chris Herman. Both these guys, Fryer no longer. He's back down in Rochester, but it's up to Herman too to come out and maybe talk to him a little bit, try to calm him down, and ball out of the strike zone. And he has a strikeout and a walk already.
Strikeout and a 4-pitch walk. The Northland Ford defense for the Twins: Rosario in left, Hickson center, Hunter in right, Plouffe, Escobar, Dozier, Maurer, and Herman, as Bert mentioned, behind the plate. Runner at first, 1 down, and now Yan Gomes. This Cleveland lineup, not as reputable as Toronto's, but right now they're really hitting the baseball. And the Twins pitching staff has contributed to that.
Yes.
The Indians have collected 10 or more hits in 7 straight games, and 8 out of 9. The team itself has won 5 out of 6.
Yeah, the last 4 games that the Twins have played the Indians, 3 there, and then last night a total of 40 runs scored by the Indians.
Sliced foul, 2 strikes.
Keep an eye on Lindor at first base. He stole a base in last night's ball game. The Indians stole 3 bases against the Twins.
Twins won a wild game a week ago last night in Cleveland, 10-9. Had a 6-0 lead. Saw the Indians take the lead. Twins came back, won it with a late home run by Torrey Hunter, and then Indians pretty much bludgeoned the Twins for the 2 remaining games in Cleveland and last night. Bouncer left side.
All right,
it's Plouffe to Dozier. Relay to first. Safe at first. We'll see if the Twins challenge. Trevor waited for that second hop to come to him. And by the time he got it to Dozier, Gomes was well on his way down the line.
I'll tell you what, it's a bang play right here.
Yeah, I think he'll be safe. I don't think the Twins will challenge that.
Hey, you know, as a infielder, and Plouffe's done a good job at third, you know, you try to get the best hop you can. You come charging in on that and get the short hop, all of a sudden there's runners on first and second. So make sure you get one, and it's up to Dozier to get that over to Mauer, which he did very quickly, but credit goes. A bang play at first.
Maybe here we'll see.
See Joe reaching out as far as he can.
Not enough to overrule a call. Carlos Santana will hit with Gomes at first. Santana, switch hitter, numbers way down this year. Hitting in the 220s, just a dozen home runs.
Yeah, and all 12 of them as a left-handed hitter. Santana in his 6th season with the Indians. Good breaking ball there for strike one. What you want out of that breaking ball is a get me over strike one curveball. You don't want that one maybe with 2 strikes on. You want to throw that ball in the dirt.
And now up and away, 1-1.
The opening up a little bit, and that's just the nerves and the excitement of pitching a major league game. How do you get rid of that? By going deep into the ball game so you can finally relax, and he didn't get that opportunity in his first start.
Twins got him off to a good start on the road. They gave him a 2-0 or 3-0 lead in the very first inning. Popped up left side, weak lead to Plouffe.
All right, good inning.
A walk, a man left aboard, and a scoreless first for Tyler Duffy.
Boy, has his ERA come down.
Well, Molitor's seen his team fall below the 500 mark. The only other time they've done that, they won the next game, and that's the hope tonight for Molitor and you Twins fans. The Menards batting order for the Twins. Aaron Hicks back in the leadoff spot with Dozier back in the lineup, hitting second. Bill Mauer, Miguel Sano, Trevor Plouffe, Torrey Hunter, Eddie Rosario, Chris Herman, and Eduardo Escobar.
And it's Josh Tomlin on the mound making his first start of the season. He had April, and he had arthroscopic shoulder surgery. Has been rehabbing down in the minor leagues, 7 minor league starts, and the Indians feel he is ready for a big league start. Those are his numbers from last year.
Aaron Hicks again goes after the first pitch as he did last night. A short fly to left, and Aviles comes in to make the catch, and Hicks is quickly retired. One down, and that'll bring up Dozier. Indians out in the field, and it's been an improved lot over the course of the year. Aviles in left because Brantley's hurt. Almonte getting a good look in center field. Chisenhall's been moved to right. Urshela and Lindor have been impressive, getting a chance to play on the left side of the Cleveland infield. Ramirez in for an injured Jason Kipnis, Santana at first, and Perez behind the plate.
Yeah, other than Carlos Santana at first base, very young infield.
Outside to Brian Dozier, ball one. Dozier got a rare day off yesterday. Two and 0. Doesn't miss many, and tonight a milestone, his 500th career game. A high fly to left, and Aviles with the catch, 2 down. And that'll bring up Joe Mauer. The Twins got one hit last night against Corey Kluber, but it was a big one.
Yeah, second time this year that the Twins have only had one hit in a ball game, and ended up being a home run. Joe hit that ball 425 feet, his 8th home run of the year. That came off of Corey Kluber, who ended up throwing a complete game. The other one back on July 31st, Taijuan Walker. It was Miguel Sano's home run that was the only damage against him.
Strike one to Mauer. Tomlin's only thrown 5 pitches, and he's on the verge of getting through a scoreless first inning here.
Yeah, Tomlin not an overpowering pitcher, so that may help him through his rehab and arm strength. He's always a guy that might top out at 90 to 91 range, somewhere in there. Very good control throughout his career. This is his 70th major league start. Did some relieving. Most of the relief outings came last year.
All sorts of elbow issues in his career, but now more recently shoulder problems. Down and away, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, he had Tommy John surgery in 2012, missed about 4 months of 2013, came back 29 games, and then this year out of spring training that shoulder flared up, had arthroscopic surgery.
And that one floats up and away, 3-1 with Sano on deck.
Tomlin, 30 years old, signed by the Indians out of Texas Tech University back in 2006. This is his 6th season with the Indians.
And Mauer on a 3-1 pitch gets another hit against Tomlin. Joe now 7 for 14 against Josh Tomlin. A 2-out single here in the first.
Well, you have to go back to September 19th of last year here when Tomlin was last on the mound. He came in relief and gave up the game-winning single to Trevor Plouffe. Twins ended up winning that ball game 5-4. The only batter that Tomlin faced.
Sano will bat with a man aboard and 2 down. And Mauer nearly got picked off. He appeared to be standing on the bag and then stumbled. Butch Davis chuckling about it. I'm not sure whether that just took Joe by surprise or what happened.
Yeah, it did right here. Watch Joey just kind of flickering with his glove, and the ball looked like it was going to, maybe hit Joe. And somehow he was able to get that left foot back on the bag and keep it there.
That was a very peculiar looking play.
The way he was going looked like he might tumble backwards, but able to keep that foot on the bag.
Big swing on a predictable first pitch slider down and away. Sano's seen an awful lot of those.
First go around 2 for Sano against Tomlin. Really the first time around for a lot of pitchers that Sano has never faced, and he's really done a pretty good job, hitting .280, 7 home runs, 25 runs batted in. And this is his 36th game.
There it is again, same result. 0-2.
Again, Tomlin, excellent control throughout his career. He averaged coming into this ball game in 447 2/3 innings at the big league level, 1.6 walks per 9. Averages just almost 6 strikeouts per 9.
Same pitch 3 times with the same result, and Sano strikes out.
The plate, and unlike earlier this week when he caught for Irvin Santana, had not done that before, he has caught Tyler Duffy before. And I asked him about the scouting report and what they're going to be working on. He said the curveball is Duffy's out pitch. It's a terrific curveball, but he wants him to use the fastball and some of the harder stuff that he's got to establish the zone and then use that curveball in advantageous situations, guys. And they've got great chemistry. He knows him well, and he said he wants to keep him calm. He saw that game in Toronto, said he got a little too jumped up, a little too nervous in that game. He wants him to just relax tonight and watch for that curveball when he gets ahead in the count.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Again, the key is that pitch right there, the fastball. Whether it be a 4-seam or a 2-seam, get ahead so you can set up that good breaking ball.
1-0 to Urshela.
Urshela in last night's ball game, a 2-run home run off of Trevor May in the second inning. Only 2 runs that May gave up in his 3 innings worth of work.
2-0. Almonte and Perez will follow. Foul back, pitch left up.
5 home runs on the year now for Urshela. That went into the bullpen.
Gave the Indians a quick lead with their ace on the mound. The game was pretty much over with after that.
Home run measured at 420.
Now 3-1. Duffy pitched around a 1-out walk in the first.
Right now, really kind of letting that ball go a little bit too early. Chris Herman needs to sit down and away and hit that corner. Get that ball down.
And a 5-pitch walk starts the second inning. I mentioned the Twins tried to do what they could to give Duffy a little calmness to work with, scoring 3 runs in the first, but the Blue Jays got 2 in the first and then knocked him out after the second inning. Gave up 2 home runs, grand slam in the second, and that was pretty much the end of it. But he was pitching with a lead before he threw his first pitch. Now Almonte, Twins need to find a way to get this guy out.
Well, he's been throwing that little sinker away, and that's what he needs to do here. Breaking ball right there. Almonte showed like he was going to try to bunt. Trevor Plouffe came in, and he pulled the bat back, but the pitch was over for a strike.
Monty's been shredding Twins pitching. A lot of hits, a lot of extra base hits.
Yeah, new to the organization, trying to impress, and he has done that. Getting traded over to the Indians. on July 31st from the San Diego Padres.
And then the Indians traded Michael Bourne to the Braves to open up center field, and they thought they would take a look at this guy. He didn't do much of anything in San Diego, but boy, has he made a strong first impression with the Indians.
Yeah, career .240 hitter with the Mariners, Padres, and now the Indians. Hit only .204 for the Padres in 31 ball games.
And a strikeout on a breaking ball.
And a good pitch down right there. So the second strikeout of the ball game for Duffy. Here's a good one. It's a good pitch right here. Look at the break. And that's what Chris Herman was talking about, the tightness of that curveball. We saw that from Corey Kluber last night.
Here's Roberto Perez.
But what makes that curveball so sometimes unhittable is he's ahead in the count. He can let it go rather than trying to guide it over.
Missed the inside corner, ball one. Duffy not expected to stay with the big league club. Tommy Malone makes a start tomorrow. He's on the disabled list, so the Twins will have to make a roster move after the game tonight.
Urshela at first base. Only one attempt. He was thrown out.
Twins haven't played good baseball in quite a while. But there are 7 teams that are about a 3-game winning streak from one another, and the Twins are one of them. Chopped foul, but that's been the problem. The Twins haven't won 3 in a row since the All-Star break. Wins have been scattered between a bunch of losses, and the Twins at first game out of the after the All-Star break were 10 games above the 500 mark, and now they find themselves a game below.
Well, Kansas City has that 12-game lead over the Twins, who are in second place, but then you have the Tigers, Chicago, and Cleveland. There's just a couple, 2-3 games between these 4 ball clubs.
Breaking ball taken. An appeal, but no swing, says first base umpire Ben May. This is what we're talking about. Toronto now beaten today by the Yankees, so they're a wild card leader, 2.5 games ahead of the Angels, and it really doesn't matter where the Twins are in relation to Baltimore, Tampa, and Texas, other than the fact that they've got to clear those teams in the standings. They're 3 games behind the Angels. The Angels are continuing a series in Kansas City this weekend, then go to Chicago. So you imagine a world where the Twins just won 3 in a row and what that would do to the standings in the wild card list. And the Twins hope to win tonight to avoid a 3-game losing streak.
Well, what they were able to do against the Texas Rangers is win the series. And that's what they need to continue to do. They need to find a way to win tonight and then hopefully tomorrow afternoon against the Indians.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Duffy. 2 down.
Another good breaking ball down and away. And Perez went fishing. Ball ends up out of the strike zone, but good tight break. You can see that ball down and away. And Perez missed that by a foot.
Here is Chisenhall, and the Twins will start the at bat with an infield shift. Popped up. One infielder on that side of the infield. It's Trevor Plouffe, and he will make the call and the catch. And another scoreless inning, even though there was a walk. Leading off the second, Duffy strands the runner at first. Astros are in town at Target Field from August 28th to the 30th. Friday night includes Friday night fireworks with music presented by Cities 97 and a special happy hour at Barrio from 4:30 to 5:30. Saturday at DQ Sensational Saturday. And Sunday is a Super America Not Whole Kids Day. Call 833-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com and get your tickets today. Trevor Plouffe shows bunt, takes strike one. He'll be followed by Torrey Hunter and Eddie Rosario. 1-1. Like the Twins can't be certain what they will get from Tyler Duffey here tonight, the Indians can't be certain what Josh Tomlin's going to give them. AAA pitcher all year long. This ball lifted foul into the seats. And he's not pitched now on he's had 9 days rest between starts.
Yeah, he pitched for 4 different levels going through the rehab, and the last 4 starts were at AAA. 29 2/3 innings during that rehab stint.
And Plouffe takes low. 2-2. Swing and a miss. And Plouffe strikes out, one away.
And Tomlin picking up his second strikeout.
And that'll bring up Torrey Hunter.
Tomlin making his 7th career start against the Twins. Good fastball, great location. This is his 10th game. 3 relief appearances, 2 wins, 3 losses, an ERA over 6. So the Twins have handled him pretty well in the past.
And Hunter takes a strike. Batting average has taken a 17-point hit for Torrey since the All-Star break, down to 240.
Yeah, Torrey 0 for his last 14.
Fouled back 2 strikes. Still 18 home runs. 60 runs batted in, 2 behind the team leader Trevor Plouffe.
4 hits in 11 at bats against Tomlin.
It's a double hit, foul, 2 strikes. Oh, and 2 to the Twins right fielder. And a strikeout of Hunter, 3 in a row. Swinging strikeouts for Timlin, 2 down in the second. Tomlin, I should say. Fox Sports North is proud to partner with Girls on the Run Twin Cities to empower girls to be healthy and confident. Join us for the Girls on the Run Fall 5K Saturday, November 14th at Harriet Island Pavilion. To register, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events. Here's Eddie Rosario. Fouled away. 1 strike. Rosario's average settling down to the low 270s, and generally when that happens he has a 3 or 4 hit game.
Yeah, he has really been steady ever since he got called up by the Twins.
Outside 1-1.
Called up on May 4th.
On the ground. Ramirez fumbles it and then throws to first to get the out. A 1-2-3 second, including a couple of strikeouts, and we've got 2 scoreless innings here at Target Field. rainy night at Target Field. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. You can use hashtag NorthDataStrongFan, and you might just see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
Hey, Duffy in his major league debut in Toronto needed 60 pitches to get through 2 innings, and right now 30 pitches with 2 shutout innings, a couple walks, 3 strikeouts.
No hits yet. Mike Aviles will lead off the 3rd.
Yeah, Aviles good night at the plate last night. 3 hits, drove in a run.
Talked about the Twins' descent from, well, a season high 11 games above 500, but then 10 right after the break to where they are now. And there have been offensive struggles, to be sure, but the starting pitching has been an issue. It has been less efficient than it was the first 2 months of the year. Twins have played before tonight 115 games, and they have had to this point just 55 quality starts. That's less than half the game. That's not good enough.
And a lot of people out there, what's a quality start? 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less.
And off the end of the bat foul. You know, the perception was, and well, it was the reality. It wasn't just the perception. Starting pitching in the first half of the year was much better than it was at any time in the last 4 years. But the starters have contributed to the malaise here in the last 6 weeks or so. 2 strikes and a half swing. Another strikeout on that breaking ball.
And strikeout number 4 for Duffy.
1 down on the 3rd.
Well, career high in the minor leagues this year at Double-A. He had an outing that he struck out 12. And Aviles swinging at a pitch that landed on top of home plate.
Jose Ramirez will bat.
I always say, you know what, when you're a young kid like Duffy, he's not, I mean, he's 24 years old, but making just his second major league start, you get ahead in the count. That's the main thing. And then you rock that breaking ball in. These guys have never seen them before. You can look at TV all you want, but you don't see the tight break and the movement on his fastball.
Nice stop by Mauer going to his right. Duffy right on the bag, 2 down.
That's a great play by Joe Mauer, diving to his right and comes up with it. You have to have good plays behind you to be successful at any level, but right here, Duffy getting over there, Joe Mauer diving for it, and he's there to get to the first base. But nice play by Joe Mauer.
2 down here in the 3rd, and now Lindor. It's the first strike that Duffy's thrown Lindor. He walked him on 4 pitches in the first inning.
Well, Lindor mentioned last night, only 21 years old, from Puerto Rico, Indians' #1 pick out of Florida back in 2011.
2 strikes.
Born in Puerto Rico. Lindor getting called up by the Indians on June 14th from AAA Columbus.
One and 2. Fouled back. What would you think would be the acceptable number, the baseline number for 115 games in terms of quality starts? You'd want 2 out of 3
somewhere in there.
Quality starts.
Well, you would like to, but you know, in today's age, how much the pitch count comes into play. Guys will leave in the 5th inning, you know, maybe with 100 pitches, just like that.
Nice pick up by Plouffe. He fires across, gets the speedy Lindor, and Duffy has his first 1, 2, 3 innings.
Victory Link, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. No score. Twins will send up Chris Herman, Eduardo Escobar, and Aaron Hicks against Josh Tomlin. And Herman goes after the first pitch. Herman getting a chance to catch Tyler Duffy. And here he's got a chance to get on base leading off the third inning. Inside.
Yeah, going back to the quality starts, the Twins are 4-9 in the month of August. They have had only 5 quality starts of the 13 games, and of the quality starts, 3 of the 4 the Twins won.
And as modest as you and some others think the qualifications are for a quality start, to me, you've got to get 2 of those out of every 3 games. You know, we're not talking doing what Kluber's done to the Twins, where you pitch the whole ball game and you give up just a handful of hits in 2 games. Just 3 earned runs in 6 innings. That should not be an unattainable standard.
No, we always looked at a quality start, 7 innings, 2 earned runs or less, if you really want a quality start.
But you're a dinosaur. Well, that was from a different era.
But that sometimes is overlooked too, because sometimes a guy will go 9 innings. Say a pitcher goes 8 or 9 innings and gives up 4 runs, but he wins 6-4. They don't call that a quality start.
No.
Where actually, he pitched, maybe a complete game. Because he gave up 4 runs and won 10-4, that's not a quality start. To me, that is. Because you threw the complete game.
The opposite of a quality start is what Felix Hernandez had today. 2 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 10 earned runs.
No, that's called an ugly start.
Red Sox beat the Mariners 22-10. Herman strikes out swinging.
Strikeout number 4 for Tomlin.
Praise FM invites you to Faith Night 2015, a post-game event following the August 29th game between the Twins and the Houston Astros. You can enjoy the game, then stay for a post-game live music concert from Unite Twin Cities and special Twins player appearances. For details and tickets, visit twinsbaseball.com/Faith Night. Here's Escobar. Twins didn't strike out at all against Corey Kluber last night till the 4th inning. And here Tomlin's coming right out of the chute and struck out 4 of the first 8 guys. Fouled away, 1-1.
Yeah, going into the ball game, both managers saying they didn't know what to expect out of the starters, and both starters so far for Duffy, 3 shutout innings, 4 strikeouts. For Tomlin, 2 1/3 innings with 4 strikeouts.
And now 1-2 to Escobar. Twins as a team hitting .247. Escobar on the year, as you saw, hitting .240. Pulled foul weakly.
The .247 is 11th in the American League.
Twins are also 11th in home runs hit. You look at the Twins collectively, individually, and there isn't much of anything that stands out. This is not a team or not a roster of players that's done anything exceptionally well. There's not a guy in the leaderboard for home runs or batting average. Run scored, Dozier. Doubles, Dozier. 2-2 to Escobar. And a weak swing, a little pop up to left, retreating is Lindor. And he'll make the catch for the second out. And I honestly thought, of course, that was with Danny Santana and Kenny Vargas being a big part of the lineup. Based on what they did in the second half last year, I thought this team would be in the top 5 in run score. They really did.
But I think what we have seen is maybe the failure of Santana and Vargas, but then the emergence of Rosario and Sano. And, you look down the line, Aaron Hicks has been really improving. almost, on a weekly basis, getting better and better. You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his actions. He just feels comfortable now that he's going to have, hopefully, a good day at the plate.
And he gets a base hit.
There you go.
Swung at the first pitch to start the ball game and popped up to left. Now a sharp ground ball single with 2 gone in the 3rd.
Twins get their second hit. Mauer's base hit in the 1st, and here with 2 outs, Aaron Hicks picks up a base hit. So getting that fastball away, not trying to pull it, just took it the other way. And that big gap between 3rd and short, ball gets into left field quickly.
And Hicks gets his left-handed batting average up over 250 with that base hit, hitting .362 as a right-handed batter. Pretty good bet, I would think, here that the Twins would try to steal. Got a base stealing threat in Hicks at first with 2 down and Dozier at the plate.
Yeah, Tomlin over his career pretty good at holding on runners. Only 6 stolen bases in 13 attempts against him. A couple throwovers. He does have 1 pickoff in 69 starts, 84 games.
Breaking ball hits the corner. Our CarSoup.com trivia question: which Twin has the most home runs since Brian Dozier's debut in 2012?
Might be Brian himself.
Ooh, he got away with one there, I think. That looked like a spinning breaking ball right over the heart of the plate. That's where Brian likes it, and he fouled it back. 0-2. He's trying to put together a rally with 2 gone in the inning. Hicks aboard with a single, and now with 2 strikes, if he's ever going to steal, you would think it would be here.
Hicks with 9 stolen bases in 12 attempts. Perez behind the plate, very good throwing arm.
Hicks stays put, and the ball hit right to the shortstop, and that ends the inning. Twins get another single. Left the board is Hicks. Onto the 4th, no score. A diverse range of craft breweries and brew pubs with more opening all around our great state. Visit exploreminnesota.com. Discover a world that's only in Minnesota. You can post your Minnesota experiences to #OnlyInMN. So
The largest concentrations of breweries are still in Minneapolis and Duluth. They're popping up all over the place, every corner of the state. Now, I'm guessing that Mr. Blyleven, you have not ever made your own beer. I know you've had at least your share to drink. But
yes, I have.
You've probably not made your own.
No, I have not. I've relied on others.
Yan Gomes will lead things off on the fourth. Carlos Santana and Giovanni Urshela will follow. One strike from Tyler Duffy. And now inside.
We're doing a good job of getting ahead. Strike one. 8 of 12 first pitch strikes so far for Duffy.
Gomes reached on a fielder's choice. He hit a two-hopper to Plouffe. Twins got the force play at second. Gomes just barely beat the relay, stayed out of a double play, and now outside 2-1.
Hey, we have some guests in the booth. We have Carlos and Anita Abraham celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. Because they're up here, they also donated to a charity, and this is their that's what you get.
You get to sit next to him.
Wow. Hope you didn't pay a lot. But welcome to the booth.
From Watertown, South Dakota
Here we
area.
Go. We're going to be on TV. Look at that. Hi.
2-2 the count to Yan Gomes. Santana and Urshela will follow. And a breaking ball. It's been Duffy's featured two-strike pitch here tonight.
Well, again, he's getting ahead in the count, and he's feeling more and more comfortable with that. So every inning, every pitch, he's taking that good deep breath, and you kind of say, okay, don't make a mistake here. Just keep the ball down. Good movement on that fastball so far, and that's what Herman wants right here. Good fastball down. Well, he left it up, but had something on it at 91.
Two and two to the leadoff man. Indians still looking for the first hit. And now 3-2.
Now this is where you have to trust that fastball down and away, or will he throw the breaking ball? Nobody out. You don't want to walk that leadoff hitter. He's walked two already. We're going to go to the breaking ball.
And he got another strikeout with it.
Very nice. Gomes winning, going out of his swing zone. Duffy picking up his fifth strikeout. So far, so good for the 24-year-old right-hander.
That's the one that was looking. The other four have been swinging strikeouts.
And they're all down in the zone. You see the hard breaking ball. Good tight rotation. And then Gomes right here on a 3-2 pitch. Going out of his swing zone and striking out.
One down, and now Carlos Santana. He popped up to Trevor Plouffe's first time up. Now, in the first inning, with a runner at first and two down, the Twins shifted Santana. Three infielders on the right side. Bases empty, one out, and they have a more conventional infield alignment. Dozier in short right field. And the count's 1-1.
Tough to play center field right now with the sun in the eyes of Aaron Hicks, but another ground ball out.
Mauer to Duffy, two down. And that'll bring up Urshela. Not only has Duffy not given up a hit, there hasn't been a ball hit out of the infield yet tonight. A couple of weak ground balls, a couple of pop-ups. And now Urshela, who drew a leadoff walk in the second. Ball missing inside.
Yeah, in the minor leagues, Duffy made 65 minor league starts, 83 games, couple saves in the minor leagues, 29 wins, 18 losses, good ERA of 3.20.
Strike him 1-1.
And these are all minor league numbers in the minor leagues, averaging 1.8 walks per 9 innings and just over 7 strikeouts per 9.
Check swing on a fastball.
So the credentials are good for this young man.
Made his debut, of course, against Toronto. Talked to Chris Colabello, who was a teammate of Duffy's, and Colabello had some very flattering things to say about Duffy. Thought he was really going to have a good major league career. Needs seasoning.
As I said in the pregame, you'd like to maybe say this is a golf game and you get a mulligan, but no mulligans in baseball. It is what it is, what happened in Toronto, so you move on.
3-1. And now ball 4 into the backstop. A 2-out walk to Urshela, who now has walked twice against Duffy. That'll bring up Almonte.
Yeah, 3rd walk for Duffy in the ball game. Pitch count at 57, 34 strikes.
Almonte struck out swinging. If Duffy can get him and pitch another shutout inning here in the 4th, he will have sliced his ERA by 2/3. Still at 9, but
hey,
it's better than 27.
Yes.
Strike 1.
We say when gave up my first home run to my first batter I ever faced, and all of a sudden here comes my manager Bill Rigney. I thought he was going to take me out. In the back of my bubblegum card, it was going to have an ERA of infinity.
Bauer going to his right.
Joe diving all over the place.
Another shutout inning for Tyler Duffy. No score through 3 1/2, and Joe Mauer will lead off the bottom of the inning. Nice fielding plays to help out Tyler Duffy.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, he's diving all over the place. This one diving to his right, comes up. Duffy right there to cover the bag. And then last half inning, just kind of reaching out and going to his knees and able to get up quick enough to get the final out of Almonte.
Let's hope to have some better swings against Josh Tomlin. Second time through the order. Hicks got a base hit the second time. See if Mauer, Sano, and Plouffe can get something done here in the 4th. This is the type of game the Twins have missed. They haven't had enough of these where the starting pitcher's gone out there and put 4 zeros up on a row and let the lineup get productive second time or third time through the order. Strike 1 to Mauer on a changeup.
Yeah, we talked about 2 different pitchers. Duffy making just his second major league start, where Tomlin making his first start this year. You know, Duffy has at least 140 innings pitched. And Tomlin only 29 2/3 in 7 rehab starts. So I think Mickey Callaway, the pitching coach, and also Terry Francona will keep an eye on his pitch count more than the Twins will with Duffy.
2 strikes to Mauer. And lifted foul.
Before he was injured back in 2012, Duffy was foreseen to be one of the starters in their rotation. His best year in 2011, 12 wins, 7 losses, and 26 starts. They felt he was going to be a good maybe 3, 4, 5 type role pitcher in their rotation.
Tapped left side. Lindor gets a nice hop. Fires low, and Santana can't field it. Mauer will go to second base.
Well, there's a nice break right there for the Twins. Lindor has been very steady at short, but this will be charged an error, his 8th of the year. And one hop Santana, and then ricochets high off of his glove, I believe. We'll take a look right here. Yep, off the glove, and then one hop into the stands.
The Twins catch a break with a leadoff 2-base error, and now Sano, who struck out on 3 sliders that were essentially in the same spot. All 3 off the plate. Sano swung through all 3 of them.
Now let's see if he makes the adjustment right here, and that's being Sano. See if he goes out to try to hit that ball the other way, and how they pitch him. And right now Perez sitting inside just to show him something inside.
Missing ball 1.
Now, does he go back in again, or do they go back to that slider that he is able to strike him out on?
A situation where they could really use a strikeout. I think they go back to what they did in the first inning.
See Perez sitting down and away.
All right, come on, back in.
And a strike called, 1-1.
Always felt if you're in that number 4 spot, yeah, you'd like to see him hit the ball the other way, but this is a guy that the Twins want to hit the ball out of the ballpark. So hopefully Tomlin can make a mistake right here.
Inside, 2-1.
Inside away, inside. That's the cat and mouse game.
Is that to try to get a ground ball to the left side of the infield without advancing the runner? 2-1. And taken again for a strike.
He must not see the spin on that ball, because he swung through a couple of those in his first at bat. He's taken a couple of those that seem to be breaking right back over the plate.
He's taken the 2 he might have been able to hit, and he swung at 3 in the first inning he couldn't hit. 2-2. To the right side and back into the seat. Still 2-2.
Tried to sneak a fastball in on his hands. Again, Tomlin not overpowering. He doesn't have Corey Kluber's say 92, 93 mile an hour fastball. That last fastball clocked here at 89.
He had a stretch of 4 strikeouts in 5 at bats, and he can sure use one here. And Sano takes up high, 3-2. Backed off to 77 miles per hour.
That more the curveball. He wanted over the slider. He has both of the pitches.
3-2 to the rookie. Right back to the mound on an awkward swing by Sano. He got the out without Mauer advancing.
Yeah, very defensive swing by Sano. So it looked like a breaking ball that he didn't know whether to swing or just check swing, and that's exactly what he did, kind of held up. Take a look at this breaking ball right there. Almost an excuse me type swing. And Mauer's still at second.
And now Plouffe, who struck out swinging his first time up. Just need to take advantage of this. They've not been able to generate enough offensively to win as many games as they would like. Now pretty much a gift run out there if Twins can get a hit here, get Mauer in from second base. Up and away, ball one.
Trevor leading the Twins with 62 runs batted in. See if he can add to that total.
Fly ball to right. Fairly deep. Chisenhall on the warning track makes the catch. Mauer will tag and he will advance to third, but now there are two down. Deep fly ball, but a little bit of a breeze blowing in from right field, and might have kept that from banging off the wall. Two down, and now Torrey Hunter, a strikeout victim, his first time up. Tomlin and Perez trying to figure out a way around this two-base error that started the inning.
You want to take advantage of your opponent when they give you more than 3 outs.
Well, he's been working very hard on using the whole field, and we'll see if Tomlin pitches him away, whether we see Torrey go to the opposite field here. There's a dribbler in front of Urshela, barehanded, and a fine play by Urshela, swinging bunt. It nearly got the Twins a run, but Urshela denies the Twins here in the fourth. Mountain Dew fans of the game, hoping the Twins can even this series at a game apiece, and then beyond that win the series tomorrow afternoon. They're sitting in the shade. There's not much sunshine in the seating area anymore. Roberto Perez will lead off the fifth against Tyler Duffy. First pitch, a fastball away. Duffy's been much better here, not surprisingly, I guess. 59% strike percentage, 59 pitches, 35 strikes. 1-0 to Perez, who struck out swinging his first time up, and now a breaking ball over the inside corner. Chisenhall and Aviles will follow. chopped foul. Earlier when we showed you the wild card standings, the second wild card team listed was the Los Angeles Angels. They are losing to the Kansas City Royals 6-1. And so if the Twins can win this game, and if the Angels lose that game, now you're looking at 2 games with, you know, what, 45 games to go, something like that. I mean, it's just, the possibilities are endless, but you've got to start winning ball games. And the Twins haven't done a good job of that.
Yeah, that's the bottom line right there. We can show you the wild card all you want, but if you're in the bottom of that wild card and there's 5 or 6 teams you're trying to catch, that's difficult if you don't win.
The schedule sets up nicely for the Twins because they have the opportunity. You can look at it 2 ways, I suppose. Twins are playing some teams playing pretty good baseball right now, like the Yankees, or you've got an opportunity to play the Yankees and the Orioles. You swept the Orioles here earlier. Perez swings and misses. Now you've got 4 games in Baltimore. Tampa Bay in the wild card hunt. They're coming up. Houston.
Yeah, Duffy picking up his 6th strikeout. Got Perez in the 2nd inning on a breaking ball, that time on a high fastball.
Every weeknight, don't miss MLB Whip Around on Fox Sports 1 with highlights, instant analysis, live look-ins from around the league. MLB Whip Around weeknights at 6 p.m. Central on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. There's ball 1 to Chisenhall. Chisenhall with a pop-up to Plouffe his first time up. Down and away 2-0.
Yeah, there goes Plouffe right now over towards second base. And, you know, here's a guy, Chisenhall, to me. He's not a home run hitter. All you got to do is just push that ball toward third base. I thought he might try that in his last at bat.
3-0
in the 2nd inning.
Aviles will follow. 3 walks issued by Duffy. Indians still don't have a hit. And there's a 4-pitch walk. Only in the 3rd inning has Duffy avoided walking someone.
Well, one thing about the 4 walks, they've been quick walks.
And scattered.
Not a lot of 3-2, walks. It's kind of like, okay, 4 pitches, walk. Okay, let's go on. Let's see if he can get a ground ball right here.
Aviles, the batter, struck out swinging his first time up.
Chisenhall at first base, not attempted a lot of stolen bases. 2 stolen bases in 3 attempts.
Breaking ball hits the corner.
He's got a baby face, doesn't he? Tyler, 24 years old. Played his college ball out of Rice University out of Houston, Texas. Signed by the Twins in 2012.
Missing low with a 90-mile-per-hour sinker.
He told us in the pregame show that he had been here once before at Target Field right after he signed in 2012. Twins had him up here, and then after that sent down to Florida. They list him at 6'3", 230 pounds.
One and one. To Plouffe on 1 hop. To Dozier. Relay to first. Double play.
There's a double play.
5 shutout innings for Tyler Duffy. Still no score here at Target Field.
the middle of the Minnesota State Lottery winner circle. 100 scratch-off tickets. Dual signs with a little green Circle Me Bert in the middle. Steve is from McIntosh, Minnesota. Now, I'm not familiar with McIntosh. That's a pretty good haul.
Yes, it is. It's about 5 hours away.
Well, you got the family here. There's a dozen people celebrating the weekend at the ballpark, and you get 100 scratch-off tickets, and now you're being circled by a Hall of Famer. Not bad.
Thank you, Bert.
Bert, they're having a great time. They're loving it out here. They want Miguel Sano to hit one over the batter's eye. They want a souvenir to take back to McIntosh.
Let's hope that happens, and you were all hereby circled.
And Rosario rolls one foul. McIntosh right on Highway 2 in the northwest part of the state. A little bit south and east of Erskine. A little bit north and west of Foster.
You know what's cool, Dick, is that we get a chance to talk to these people like Kevin did right there, and you have your map out and you see where fans come from.
I don't have a map. Here's a high fly right field, deep right field. Rosario gets the Twins on the board.
Now home run number 7 for Eddie Rosario.
Like he hit that ball up around his eyes.
Well, he has really enjoyed hitting here at Target Field. High fastball, boy.
How do you hit that pitch? Much less hit it 400 feet.
You chop hard at it. Look at that, and still get great wood on it. And for Rosario, 7th home run, 6 of them hit here at Target Field. Oh, that awful sound.
Near the flagpole. And now Herman lifts it foul 1-1.
For Rosario, his 2nd home run against the Cleveland Indians this year. He hit one off of Trevor Bauer, but who didn't in that ball game in Cleveland?
Herman drives it foul, got the barrel of the bat on it, but well foul, 1-2. Twins playing with the lead now. See if they can expand a 1-0 lead. Fouled back by Herman. You were starting to say about one of the great joys of our job is getting to meet the Twins fans. Kevin got a chance to meet some from northwestern Minnesota, 5-hour drive, and so many people, including some people we met earlier today here at Target Field for the first time. 1-2 to Herman. Took a close pitch down and in, 2-2.
Yeah, we're so close to the fans here. I met a young man and his wife. They live now in Fort Worth, Texas. They grew up in Iowa, but they came back up here to watch a Twins game.
Three and 2 to Herman. He's having quite a battle with Tomlin here. Escobar will follow.
Good take right there on that breaking ball. Tomlin at 65 pitches, 45 strikes. Almost 70% of his pitches have been strikes.
Here goes another one to deep right field, into the wind, and gone. Herman with a great at bat, finishing it with a home run. Might have seen the flag blowing in. The flag's out there in right field. There's a pretty good gust of breeze blowing in through the plaza, but both home runs have been hit very high into the wind.
And for Chris Herman, his 2nd home run, and both of them hit here at Target Field. His last one coming at the end of May against the Blue Jays. So back-to-back home runs for the Twins. Give them a 2-0 lead.
And now Escobar. And he takes an off-speed pitch, strike 1. Escobar with a pop to short, his first time up. That was just a good at-bat by Herman, who fell behind and fouled off some pitches. Worked the count a little bit. Weak roller to first. Santana has it. Tomlin has it, 1 away. back to the top of the order, and Aaron Hicks. Hicks with a fly ball to left on the first pitch thrown by Tomlin. He spanked a single to left.
Yeah, second time this year the Twins have had back-to-back home runs. You have to go back to here against Baltimore back in the middle of July when Dozier and Mauer hit back-to-back home runs.
Strike one to Hicks. Foul.
Good job, Brian Dozier.
Dozier skips a rope. Seen Hicks a couple of times now as a leadoff batter. He did it again tonight. Go after the first pitch, and of course he's been watching Brian Dozier as a leadoff batter this year. Dozier's done that to success. 0-2, the Twin center fielder. Lifted to left. Vilas with a long run in. He's there, out number 2. We'll bring up Dozier with the bases empty. You can follow live Twins baseball every day with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected to the Twins all season with MLB.TV Game of the Day. In-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, and more. Browse the app's new features, including StatCast tracking videos and bilingual access for Spanish-speaking fans. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. There's another off-speed pitch that tickles the outside corner. Dribbler in front of Urshela again. He ends both the 4th inning and the 5th inning with similar plays, but in between, the Twins go deep twice and take the first lead of the game. Followed by a Herman home run, and now Tyler Duffy, who's still yet to give up a hit, will face the top of the Cleveland order with a 2-run lead.
He's yet to give up a hit even to the outfield.
Everything's been kept in the infield. Wrapped up the 5th with a ground ball double play. Ramirez showing bunt, taking ball 1. Lindor and Gomes will follow. There won't be a no-hitter tonight unless or until Duffy starts getting some single-digit
pitch innings. He is at 73 pitches for the night with 15 outs. Missing inside 2-1.
Well, 16 in the first, then 14, 11, 18, 12 last inning. There's nothing wrong with a combined no-hitter.
And now 3-1.
I saw one of those in Anaheim when I believe Mark Langston started the ball game and Chuck Finley finished it.
Duffy has walked a man in the first, a man in the second, a man in the fourth, and a man in the fifth. You want to walk the leadoff man in the sixth, especially with a 2-run lead now.
Yeah, he's working out of the stretch right there. He kind of shows off how nervous he was right there. Started in the stretch, now going back to the windup.
And a strike, 3-2.
Deep breath. Doing a great job so far. Just his second major league start.
Tap foul. Sandy Alomar backs out of the way. Gets a little heat from the Twins dugout.
If he had his shin guards on and his chest protector, he would have knocked that down.
3-2 to Ramirez, leading off the Cleveland sixth. Weakly on the ground to Dozier. And the leadoff man is retired. We'll bring up Francisco Lindor. Sanford Health injury report. Phil Hughes with some lower back issues. Had an epidural. Hope that will get cleared up soon. Blaine Boyer with some right elbow inflammation. Not the time of the year when you want to start putting pitchers on the disabled list.
Boyer felt some irritation in that elbow, tried to pitch through it, but they decided better just to rest it.
Lindor takes a strike.
And for Phil Hughes, it's not the first time he's had lower back issues. Last year, pretty free as far as injury prone. Phil Hughes, who for 3 straight years with the Yankees had a lot of injuries.
0-2.
Good sinker there.
And of course, Nolasco, Hughes, and Santana were signed to lead the Twins pitching staff in a competitive second half. Nolasco's on the disabled list. Hughes is now on the disabled list, and Santana's really struggled. 0-2 to Lindor. Up high. So you're left with opportunities like the one presented to Tyler Duffy. Tommy Malone just off the disabled list will go tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what you want. You want opportunities if you're a young kid in the minor leagues. Give me a chance.
2-2.
Trying to overthrow that breaking ball a little bit. You can almost see him say, okay, stay back. Want something to happen right here. Fastball.
Laced to right center field, and it'll get by Hunter. It's the first Cleveland hit. And it'll be an extra base hit. Lindor gliding into second with a one out double.
Yeah, this little guy can hit. Saw Lindor last night pick up 3 hits. And here just got a fastball up. Nice applause by a lot of the fans here. 5 1/3 innings of no-hit ball, but that fastball right there about thigh high. Hit sharply past Torrey Hunter. For Lindor, his 4th hit in this series on his 9th double.
Gomes, the batter, which he represents the tying run. Gomes reached on a fielder's choice in the first, struck out in the 4th. Up and away, ball 1.
Duffy again making the jump from Double-A to Triple-A to the big leagues. Last year started in Fort Myers, Single-A affiliate for the Twins.
One and 0. Foul back, 1-1.
right, so let's go back to the start of the year when Duffy was assigned to the AA roster and had a lot of starting pitching ahead of him. The major league guys, the AAA guys, and yet here he is in a pennant race, pitching an awfully big ball game for the Twins, just his second major league start. The point being, if you're in AA, lower breaking ball, big swing and a miss. If you're in AA and you can look ahead and see 10 or 12 starters ahead of you, you still got a chance.
You just go out and do your job.
Right.
And that's exactly what he did. 52 2/3 innings in AA in 8 starts. No home runs allowed. Only walked 12. And he had 54 strikeouts. He got promoted because those are good numbers in AA. 2.54 ERA. Went to AAA, 14 starts. An ERA of 2.53 in 85 1/3 innings.
1-2 to Gomes. Got him with a breaking ball in the dirt.
And the same pitch that struck out Gomes on a 3-2 pitch in the 4th inning. So strikeout number 7 in the ball game for Tyler Duffy. Second time that Gomes has swung at a pitch just on the other side of home plate.
We talked last night about Corey Kluber, and he's in a class by himself, or there's just a few other members in that club. But we talked about one of his strengths, the late movement. Now Duffy must have some of that because he's gotten some fairly veteran hitters swing at that breaking ball in the dirt, thinking it's a fastball knee high.
Yeah, Kluber, he's done it for a long time at this level. Duffy again, this is his first time pitching against the Indians, and they have been swinging a good bat, but kind of almost over aggressive here tonight on some of the pitches that Duffy has thrown. Yeah, the tightness of the breaking ball, but they've swung at a lot of pitches that are out of the strike zone.
Fox Tracks presented by Jeep,
which is a good thing.
Herman to the mound.
You play and you pitch against that aggressiveness.
But when you strike out a guy like Gomes, who's got a couple thousand at bats, I suppose by now, 1,500 at bats anyway, on the same pitch, and strike 2 was the same pitch as strike 3. There must be some of that late movement.
Right. We see the movement. There's Dunsing getting loose in the Twins bullpen. Seen some of that movement on his fastball. Kind of fastball going all over the place, which is always a good thing. As long as he can keep it in the strike zone. Got a double play to end the last inning. There's a good breaking ball, clipping down and away.
Or in the vicinity.
No. It hit the corner. All you need is just a hair.
That was a clump of hair off the strike zone.
Sam Holbrook behind the plate, calling balls and strikes, a 16-year vet.
Now 3-1. The base is open, of course, but Urshela has been swinging it pretty good. He's walked twice already against Tyler Duffy.
You don't want to make a mistake, this guy. Again, 12 home runs, all of them as a left-handed hitter.
3-1.
He's looking dead red. Ooh, pretty good
fastball
pitch.
Inside. So Santana fills first base, and now Giovanni Urshela, who homered last night, comes up. 5th walk issued by Duffy. Twins will take on the White Sox September 1st through the 3rd here at Target Field. Tuesday features the U.S. Bank Value Pack. You can purchase a U.S. Bank Home Run Porch View ticket and receive a free Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi. Wednesday is Student Day, presented by Rasmussen College. Standing room tickets for just $5 for students, and they include a free ride on Metro Transit. 833 Twins or twinsbaseball.com, the sources to get your tickets.
Well, you saw Brian Dunsing getting up. Morfell for Almonte, who's on deck. But what you want right here is you want this young man to get out of the inning. So if Dunsing does come in the 7th inning, he starts the inning. So a big at-bat right here.
And Urshela lifts a foul. Might have been ball 1, a breaking ball up and in.
So many times we've seen this year. You talked about the 55 quality starts in 115 games. Well, a lot of times you go 6 1/3 innings, 6 2/3. You want to finish the inning, so that bullpen comes in with nobody on base, and that's what Duffy's trying to do right here. Get this final out.
Tapper to short. A long throw, Escobar to Mauer. He gives up a double and a walk in the 6th, but he's got 6 shutout innings and a 2-0 lead. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Have bold for breakfast with the new chorizo burrito from McDonald's. Joe Mauer leads off the 6th, then he takes strike 1. Mauer's reached twice. A single in the 1st, and then leading off the 4th, Lindor committed a 2-base throwing error.
Handshakes all around, and a great game for Tyler Duffy. 6 shutout innings.
Hopper back to Tomlin. He makes the play, 1 down.
Think about it. 6 innings. Yeah, he walked 5. He struck out 7. Not one ball was hitting the outfield until Lindor's double. That was it. So a great effort right there, and a great job by Tyler Duffy.
Guy who gave up 1 home run all year long, making his debut at the Rogers Center against the Blue Jays, and 2 of them left the ballpark in a hurry, but a much more representative, we think, outing here tonight. Here's Sano taking ball 1. Sano's had a frustrating night here. Struck out on 3 pitches against Tomlin in the 1st. Then Tomlin ate him up with a breaking ball in the 4th. Mauer was at 2nd, nobody out. And Sano trying to battle with 2 strikes, but he ended up giving a half swing to 1 and hitting it right back to Tomlin. Now a stroke to left, a base hit.
Yep. I mean, you know what? He had 2 really good eyes at that plate on ball 1, ball 2. Ball 1 was a breaking ball away, changeup that just missed outside. He kind of just looked at it. And then a little breaking ball cutter that stayed up. See a little spin on that baseball, but Sano waited back nicely. Picks up a base hit. 5th hit for the Twins.
Trevor Plouffe will bat. And those are the things that a pitching coach or a manager will look at. Sharpness of a breaking ball. And Tomlin had it, and now maybe in the 6th inning again he's working on 9 days rest, and he's not into any kind of a rhythm at all. But now in the 6th inning, maybe some of the sharpness is eroding.
Well, one thing he has shown that shoulder is holding up nicely, the one that got surgery in April. I don't know if they expected 6 innings out of him. That's what they're going to try to get out of Tomlin here tonight. But he has been throwing strikes, 72% strikes, 56 strikes out of 78 pitches thrown.
That much we knew about him. If he's healthy, he can throw the ball over the plate.
Right. Changes speed well. Made a couple mistakes to Rosario and Herman.
Great stoppage short by Lindor. What a double play. Wow. Francisco Lindor with a tremendous play, starting an inning-ending double play. Playing a high level of shortstop for a long time. What a play by Lindor.
Yeah, they say he's been doing that all season long since he got called up, and he and Ramirez, a very nice 1-2 combination. Ramirez only 22 years old, showing off his strong arm, but what a great play by Lindor. Getting that one hop, able to get up quickly, good feed over to Ramirez, and then Ramirez completes the double play.
Casey Fiend will come into the ball game to pitch to Almonte Perez Chisenhall. At least one would assume all that. There's nobody on base. You would think Fiend would have a chance to face Chisenhall, the left-handed batter.
Yeah, Fiend making his 41st relief appearance. He got the loss here on Thursday against the Texas Rangers in the 6-5 loss. Threw 20 pitches, 14 for strikes.
Almonte with a strikeout and a ground ball to Mauer so far on the night. The Indians have just one hit on a night after the Twins were one hit by Corey Kluber. Swing and a miss. On the ground to Dozier. Now to Mauer. One away. That'll get us to Roberto Perez. As promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong Fan photo of the game. You can tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #NorthDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. And we're featuring those two Twins fans. One down. Here's Perez. 2 strikeouts against Tyler Duffy, who now must sit and wait and watch. Cross your fingers, whatever you do.
Go hide in a closet somewhere.
When you're 8 outs away from your first big league win.
Like I said, go hide in a closet somewhere. You're hoping that the bullpen can hold the lead.
1 strike to Perez with Chisenhall on deck.
I know when I left the ball game, I could not sit and watch the game. I had to go somewhere and kind of just hope that the relievers, whoever came in, picked me up.
Well, where'd you go? I mean, you're in a ballpark. What?
You go in the clubhouse and you go into basically the training room where there's not a lot of TVs.
Oh, no, there's probably like 8 big screen TVs in the Twins clubhouse right now.
Not the clubhouses I went in.
Transistor radio, maybe.
Yeah, lucky we had a training room.
1-2. Sometimes pitchers who are taken out of the game will head up to the clubhouse, get iced or whatever. Sometimes I know David Price does it. He'll stay on the bench and watch the end of the game.
Well, that's fine with a 10-1 lead, but whether a 1-0 game or a 2-0 game, I'm hiding somewhere.
2-2.
Perez, a good fastball hitter. Casey Fiend has that little cutter.
And now outside 3-2.
In his second season, Perez is with the Indians.
Fiend not one to issue a lot of walks.
No, Casey only 3 walks on the season.
Full count to Perez. Got him with a high fastball. 2 down.
And Perez striking out for the 3rd time here tonight. Twice against Duffy, and then swinging at that high fastball. So Fiend picking up a strikeout. Going right after him. Perez, you can see getting underneath that fastball. Trying to hit it into St. Paul.
We've seen enough of Perez to know he really doesn't have a 2-strike swing. It's just a hack. And he swings through strike 3. Here's Chisenhall. On the ground, Mauer is there. Fiend a little late in rushing to the bag, but he beats Chisenhall and has a 1-2-3 7th inning.
Nice inning.
By Tyler Duffy and a couple of solo shots.
Yeah, 0-0 ball game going to the bottom of the 5th. It was Rosario's 7th home run that gave the Twins a 1-0 lead. Then the next batter, Chris Herman, his 2nd home run of the year. 2nd time the Twins this season have had back-to-back home runs. And Tyler Duffy, 6 shutout innings, only 1 hit allowed, a double with 1 out in the 6th inning. To Lindor, that was it. 5 walks, 7 strikeouts through 94 pitches.
It'll be Hunter, Rosario, and Herman here in the 7th. Up high, 1-1. Torrey 0 for 2. Batting average down to .239.
Torrey came into the ballgame, I mentioned before, 0 for 14. Trying to get a base hit here. Get going again.
It hasn't been overworked. Paul Molitor, I think, has done a really good job trying to give Torrey some more breaks in the 2nd half, getting him some rest.
fouled away. 2-2.
He's missing pitches like that right there. That was one that when Torrey was swinging the bat well, he drove it hard somewhere, just fouled it off.
2-2. Fastball, a foul tip, a strikeout. 1 down.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Terry Francona out to take the ball from Tomlin. He did a really nice job. It has to be a good feeling for him to come back from what he's come back from to pitch as well as he did here tonight. This year in that he's able to hit both righties and lefties. Back-to-back lefties lined up in the 7th and 8th spots for the Twins, and so Kyle Crockett gets the call to try to get them out.
Yeah, the only left-hander in that bullpen is Kyle Crockett, not Davy Crockett, but Kyle Crockett, making his 15th relief appearance. He's been with the Indians 4 times. Started the season with the Indians, been optioned out 3 other times, and called back on August 3rd.
Rosario's handled lefties well. There's Tomlin.
He did a good job.
Rosario hitting .247 against lefties. First pitch hammered to right center field. Chased by Almonte. He is there on the edge of the track to make the catch out number 2.
Boy, he went down and got that breaking ball from Crockett. Had a good swing. Just hit it to one of the deepest parts of the field here at Target Field.
2 down, and now Chris Herman. Herman has struggled against lefties. 1 hit in 17 at bats.
Watch this breaking ball right here from Crockett. Rosario went down and hit this ball a long way.
All right, he hit a home run and a pitch up in his eyes. He hit that ball hard and it was down around his shoe tops.
Shades of Tony Oliva. Going down the middle.
Herman lifts it foul. Little spin near the tarp and out of play. Not a situation where the Twins would consider pinch hitting here, even though Herman hasn't shown the ability to hit lefties like Rosario has. The Twins are playing with the lead. Any disruption you have in your battery, you want to make it on the mound, not behind the plate. Playing with the lead. 1-2. Two down on the 7th. On the ground, hit right at the second baseman. Tomlin gets the first out. Crockett gets the next 2 outs, and we head to the 8th with the Twins up 2-0.
Tonight, when Jim Thome achieved baseball history by hitting career home run number 600. It was Thome's second home run of the night. He finished his career with 612 career home runs. Now back to Target Field.
Well, thank you, Jamie.
True gentleman right there, Jim Thome.
Weren't many highlights in that year. That was the first of what have become 4 straight losing seasons before the 2015 season, but and clearly the highlight of that year.
Kevin Jepson coming into the ballgame, making his 7th appearance as a Minnesota Twin, getting traded over from the Tampa Bay Rays on July 31st.
Jepson will face Aviles, Ramirez, and Lindor. If all goes well, the Twins will have Jepson pitch a clean 8th, and then Glenn Perkins would be brought on for the 9th inning.
Yeah, Kevin's given up only 1 hit in 4 2/3 innings, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Walked the first 2 batters he faced as a Twin.
That against the Mariners back here on August 2nd.
Aviles struck out on the 3rd, bounced into a double play in the 5th. First pitch strike.
Jepson with a good fastball, a curveball, little cut fastball, and a changeup. The first fastball at 95.
And 95 again off the plate.
Good inning for Casey Thiem. A 1-2-3 7th inning.
Hope to the right side. Mauer down to a knee, gets it to the bag, 1 away. We've talked about this before. There is an irony, I guess, about Tampa Bay trading Jepson. Tampa Bay's losing to Texas tonight 3-0. If the Twins hang on and win this game, the 2 teams will both be at 500. And it's rare that a team in contention, and the Rays are in contention, surprisingly, like the Twins, would trade an asset, a veteran reliever who can throw 95, to another contending team. It would be akin to going back a few years when the Twins were in those division matches with the White Sox, the Twins trading a player to the White Sox. Well, it just doesn't happen. But in Tampa's situation, they're forever trying to add youth, get rid of payroll, and that's kind of what this trade was all about.
Yeah, they got a couple of young right-handed pitchers out of the Twins organization for Jepson.
1-1. Ramirez 0 for 3. Again, there's only been one ball hit out of the infield, and that was Lindor's double. Fiend kept it in the infield. So far, Jepsen has as well.
Trevor Plouffe playing in on the grass. You take the bunt away.
Up high, and it's 2-1. A little over 30,000 the paid attendance tonight. Twins trying to get back to the 500 mark at 58 and 58. Angels are losing to the Royals 7-1. Slice a game off the wild card deficit. Twins would be 2 games back. Chop to Dozier. 2 down. Another ground ball out. And now Lindor. Visit Fox Sports North at the Minnesota State Fair. It's coming up quickly. In 2 weeks we'll be into the fair already. August 27th through Labor Day. You can meet on-air personalities, although truth be told, none of us really have much of a personality. Special guests, and have your photo taken in our free photo booth. Plus, register to win tickets and more. Welcome by Grand Casino. For more details, visit foxsportsnorth.com and click on upcoming events.
Speak for yourself. 13 outs recorded on ground ball outs so far in this ball game against the Indians.
Lindor with a walk in the first, and the only hit for the Indians tonight, a double to right center field in the 6th. It's kind of what Corey Kluber was doing to the Twins last night.
Yeah, we only had 1 hit last night, and that's Mauer's home run.
1-0 to Lindor.
Yeah, Lindor, a switch hitter, hitting .283 coming into this ball game as a left-handed hitter, .306 as a right-handed hitter. You see the average overall.
Strike call. 2-1. Big call there with Gomes on deck. Jepsen, according to Sam Holbrook, hit the corner.
Sam Holbrook said it hit the corner. It hit the corner.
Fox Track presented by Carrier.
That guy's been doing it for 16 years behind the plate.
That was just off. And it's 3-1. I'll give you the third pitch. That was right on the edge.
Thank you.
I'm sure Sam Holbrook really cares what I think.
I'm sure he does.
3-1 to Lindor.
He started calling them names and stuff like that, then he would.
Well, yeah, but I don't do that.
No, you don't. We do not do that to umpires at all.
On the air.
You said that.
3-2 to Lindor. On the ground, Dozier can't flag it down. Lindor has both Cleveland hits, and Gomes will come up representing the tying run.
Again, he picked up 3 hits in last night's ball game, his second hit here. So my California math says that's 5 hits and a game plus. That guy is exciting to watch.
Gomes is 0 for 3. He struck out the last 2 times up. And in, ball 1. Jepsen, as a Twin, has retired all 9 right-handed batters he's faced.
Yeah, and Gomes against Jepsen, just 2 hits in 4 at-bats.
Swing and a miss, 1-1.
This is a guy right here that even though he's not having the year he had last year when he hit 21 home runs, is that home run threat. 7 home runs so far on the year for Gomes. Jepson's strength is fastball away with a hard breaking ball.
Chopper back to Jepson, who makes a nice catch.
Good pitch.
And ends the inning.
And even a better pitch down and away.
A scoreless 8th, and the Twins carry a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the inning.
Stay with us right after the game for Twins Live, presented by Central Bank. We'll take a look at a completely different start for Tyler Duffey after he got roughed up in Toronto. 6 shutout innings tonight to lead the Twins into this good position they're in. We'll go deep into the offensive category of back-to-back jacks, and a couple of guys you might not have guessed would have hit those home runs. We'll have Jack Morris and others react to that, and we'll also bring you inside the Twins clubhouse. You'll hear from Paul Molitor. He'll react to a needed quality start from his youngster, and we'll also tee up what lies ahead tomorrow, which could be the rubber game of this series, guys. What a fun baseball game to watch on a perfect summer night.
Absolutely. Yeah. Brian Shaw will try to keep it a 2-0 lead for the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, Shaw's done a good job out of that bullpen. This is his 50th relief appearance. 41 1/3 innings, only 36 hits allowed. He has given up 5 home runs, only 12 walks, 1 intentional, and 34 strikeouts.
Twins would like to add one on here. Escobar leading off the 8th. He is 0 for 2, a pop to short, and a ground ball to first. Outside, ball 1. Escobar, then Hicks and Dozier.
Yeah, Shaw with a good fastball. Not a lot of movement on that fastball. Big breaking ball. And a changeup. He's in his 3rd season with the Indians.
Inside now 2-0.
There's the breaking ball right there. It's a sharp one. Last year, 80 relief appearances, the most in the American League.
3-0. Twins getting the 2 runs on back-to-back home runs in the 5th. With just 2 hits, the Twins have the 2 home runs and 3 singles. There's a strike on the outside corner. Pulled up the line, foul, 3-2.
Now Shaw, 27 years old, came up to the big leagues with the Diamondbacks in 2011. Played his college ball out of Long Beach State, Southern California. He was a Diamondbacks number 2 pick back in 2008.
Fouled it, tip, and Escobar still alive.
Come on, let's go. Come on, win your ball.
Full count to the Twins shortstop. Missed inside, and Escobar draws a leadoff walk.
Let's see if walking that number 9 hitter pays off for the Twins and hurts the Indians.
Take a look at what's next. Brought to you by CenturyLink. Homestand and series finale tomorrow. Carlos Carrasco going for the Indians, and Tom Malone off the disabled list. Had some forearm issues. That's all been fine, and no rehab start for Malone. He's going to jump right back into the big league rotation.
And Carlos Carrasco has been pitching very well as of late, especially his last 3 starts.
See what the Twins ask Hicks to do here. Runner at first, nobody out. Squaring and taking ball 1. We've seen Urshela on Hunter's swinging bunt charge and make a fine play. They say he's done a really nice job defending at third base.
He is way in on the grass looking for the bunt. If Hicks is asked to bunt right here, he'd like to bunt it toward Santana.
Escobar goes. There's a swinging bunt. Escobar will round second, and on a throw that nearly sailed up the line, Hicks will get credit for a sacrifice bunt. Escobar thought about going to third.
Like they tried a little hit and run right there. Escobar taking off when Shaw delivered toward home. And Hicks doing his job.
Put it in play with a full swing.
See Escobar taking off, looking in. And Perez makes a nice play. Has to go a long way for that ball and guns out Hicks at first.
And now Dozier, Bauer will each have an opportunity to add a run with a hit to the outfield. Dozier 0 for 3, 2 ground balls on a fly ball. Ball 1. Back to our trivia question. I'm going to guess that it's Trevor Plouffe.
I'm going to guess it's Brian Dozier.
It is Brian Dozier. Odd that, of course, for most of that time, Brian's been a leadoff hitter.
Yeah, 23 home runs last year, 24 so far this year.
Up and in, gets a swing and a miss. 2 years ago, he was invited to the home run derby. And this year, he made the home run roster, the all-star roster. 1-1 to Dozier. Deep to left field and back and gone. A 2-run home run.
Well, nobody's hit more home runs than Brian Dozier since he was called up. So he adds to that total.
Number 25 on the season. 61 runs batted in, and the Twins have doubled their lead here in the 8th.
We have seen Brian on pitches that stay up, and a lot of guys will maybe get underneath that pitch, but Brian able to get up and look at that pitch where it's at. It's letter high, Twins letter high. And that short, strong swing, that level swing from even that high creates that line drive home run.
And now here's Mauer. We've seen here tonight the dangers of elevating pitches, even up out of the strike zone. The pitch that Rosario hit was up and in. And if he hadn't swung at it, it would have been considered a brushback pitch. But he hammered it about 400 feet to right. And now Dozier gets one up out of the strike zone and pulls it for a 2-run home run. Hopper to first. Santana to the bag, 2 down.
Well, again, you take advantage of that leadoff walk. Not saying that, Brian Dozier didn't do that. Paul Molitor tried a little hit and run with Aaron Hicks, got Escobar into scoring position. If he had known that Dozier was going to hit a home run, he wouldn't have put the hit and run on it.
Perkins warmed up. Don't know whether he'll come in, regardless that it is not a save situation anymore.
Well, Perkins has not pitched for a while, only 3 times so far in the last 13 games. So I'm going to guess he's going to pitch no matter what the score is. Last time Perkins pitched was Tuesday with the Rangers here.
Breaking ball. This one hits the corner, and it's 1-1. So no 1 for 3.
Boy, that's a big home run right there. And somewhere, I think, maybe Tyler Duffy came out of the closet.
Now, for those who just joined us, you need to explain that.
Well, yeah, I guess I will. A lot of times you come out of the ballgame, I'd go hide somewhere, and I told him to go hide in a closet somewhere.
Okay, so all right. So we just need to clarify.
He's coming out of the He's coming out from hiding. Okay,
there you go.
If that's what he did.
3-1.
I guess you have to be politically correct, don't you?
Should at least try.
It's hard.
3-1 to Sano. Foul back.
What a big swing right there by Sano.
Well, the Twins haven't knocked the cover off the ball throughout the game. Just 6 hits on the board. But they sure have made them count with 3 home runs.
Yep. The Twins with 107 home runs now on the season. And this is game number 116.
Full count to Sano. On the outside corner, a strikeout. The inning ends. But a leadoff walk and a 1-out home run, doubling the Twins' lead to 4-0. Dozier with a 2-run home run in the 8th, and it's a 4-0 Twins lead. Not a safe situation, but as Bert mentioned before, Glenn Perkins hasn't pitched much lately, and so already having been warmed up for what the Twins thought might be a save opportunity, he'll get the ninth.
It'll be a save for Tyler Duffy, believe me. But Perkins last pitched on Tuesday against the Rangers, 1 shutout inning, and he ended up getting a win in the 3-2 win over the Rangers. Prior to that, he picked up his 30th save against Cleveland on Friday, the 7th of August. Third season in a row, Glenn Perkins has had 30 saves or more.
Santana takes strike 1. Missing inside, 1-1. Santana
used to own Glenn Perkins, but as you suggested before, he hasn't been nearly as damaging as a right-handed batter. 1 point last year, Santana had homered in 3 of 5 plate appearances against Glenn Perkins, but Perkins has handled him pretty well this year, and Santana not nearly the hitter he has yet to homer from the right side of the plate. Perkins cracks his bat. It's 1-2. It'll be the middle of the Cleveland lineup: Santana, Urshela, and Almonte. Not the middle of the lineup the Indians envisioned at the start of the year. But Kipnis is out. Brantley's out. Swisher's been traded.
Bourne is gone.
Yeah. 1-2. Hit to right, and it'll be a hit for Santana. Hunter with the bounce, and he's going to fire to second base, and Santana's in with a leadoff double. Santana with his first extra base hit this year against Glenn Perkins, a leadoff double.
Got a high fastball right there and kind of Tommy hawked it into that right field corner. His 21st double of the year. And only the 3rd hit for the Indians.
It has not been a good second half for Glenn Perkins. Neil Allen a little perplexed by what has happened to the closer in the second half. Nearly perfect in the first half. In fact, he was perfect in save situations. Perkins has had since the break an outing where he gave up 4 runs, a couple of single run outings. He's pitched 2 scoreless outings in a row.
Yeah, what he's doing is giving up the home run.
It's an odd pitch for Perkins. That came out of his hand at 63 miles per hour.
8 relief appearances since the All-Star break, and Glenn has given up 4 home runs. Has a couple saves, a couple blown saves.
Foul back to the screen. 1-2. Urshela and Almonte, of course, facing Perkins for the first time. 1-2. Fastball drilled down the line, foul. 94 miles per hour.
Well,
but Urshela was waiting for it.
Well, his fastball really doesn't have a lot of movement on it. You know, it's pretty straight. It's 94 straight. That's why it's so important for him to have that breaking ball that he can get over.
Back foot slider to a right-handed batter.
Yep. Doesn't throw that many changeups. That pitch there.
Rolled to third. Plouffe sets. And fires one away.
So that pitch there, because it has good bite, good location, and all Urshela could do was hit a ground ball.
Another term that pitchers use, pitching coaches use, is tilt. It had some downward movement, which helps you get a lot of ground balls.
Right.
1 down, and now Abraham Almonte.
Almonte, again, new to the Indians. He came in, and he's coming into this ballgame as a right-handed hitter, hitting only 167. Not a lot of at-bats.
To center, and Hicks retreats. Out number 2. Santana will tag, and the Twins could care less. 2 down. And that'll bring up Perez. Perez has struck out 3 times tonight.
Can he make it 4?
Ball 1. Twins 1 out away from ending a little 2-game skid. One and 0. Right field, deep to the corner. Hunter will play the carom. A run will score. Perez will slam on the brakes with an RBI single. And Perkins has given a run back here on a 2-out single off the right field fence.
Well, and another high fastball right there. And Perez, after striking out 3 times, picks up an RBI single. High off the wall. His 17th run batted in.
Jerry Sands will hit. Sands faced Perkins in Cleveland last weekend. Perkins struck him out. Sands hitting for Chisenhall. Of course, if the Indians get another base runner, then they'll get the tying run to the plate.
Sands 2 for 3 as a pinch hitter with a home run.
1 strike.
Sands in his first season with the Indians came up with the Dodgers, spent some time with the Tampa Bay Rays.
1-1. Sands pinch hit home run came against A.J. Octor last weekend. Grand slam, swing and a miss, 1-2.
The fastball just overpowered him there. Great crowd here tonight, starting to get on their feet.
1-2 to Sands. Strike him out. And the Twins even the series at a game apiece. And the first major league win for Tyler Duffy.
And congratulations, Tyler Duffy. 6 shutout innings, only 1 hit allowed.
Tom Hanham and the Twins didn't get much done offensively last night. Enough tonight to win a ball game 4-1.
Dick, a timely win for the Twins sets up the opportunity for back-to-back series victories here at home tomorrow. Up next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, we'll talk about Tyler Duffy's victory, the back-to-back Jackson's game. We'll hear from Molly and look ahead to tomorrow's finale.